Okay, so another series that we've completed recently. We're waiting to see if there will be a new episode, new season that's released, but I think the last episode left it a bit open. So there may be potential for a new season to start. But we've watched, how many seasons was it?
Two,
Yeah, I
two.
think it's two. Yeah, two or three seasons that we've watched so far. So it's called The Last of Us. Really, really good series that we watch. It's the theme wise. It's not. I'd say not something new. It's just a different way of basically presenting it or portraying it.
Mm.
It kind of has, when it says The Last of Us, I think the name in and of itself doesn't really, you kind of see the name and know what the movie or the series is about. But just to give a bit of background, it's kind of those zombie theme style series, but it gives a different take to it. It's not completely new because we've watched a whole lot of zombie
Mm.
series or movies where some are really slow, some are really fast. They have different reasons why why they're fast. Some are very intelligent, some are just quite dumb. Is that, you know what I'm saying? So it's not an original theme, I'd say, but there are little hints and new ideas where you see coming up where we're saying, okay, then find this kind of new. Especially just to give one example, when we have the hive mind, that kind of, it was new.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not a new theme. But that's not really what the entire movie is based on, I'll say, fully, not a zombie in and of itself. It basically, it has a lot of that, but I think it's more so focusing on the storyline of two characters and how they basically found
Find
each
each other.
other. Yeah, so they find each other and create a
A
nice
bond.
little bond. I think is where I was going to say kinship, but yeah, bond make better sense. So they created a bond and how they basically navigated throughout the end of the world, finding out things about each other. It very, very lovely movie, I'll say. I
Mm.
loved it. It's the star of the movie is
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. So I think he's, go back to
The
no, the
Mandalorian.
Oh my god, the Mandalorian. So he's the star of the Mandalorian as well.
Mm.
Honestly, really, really good actor. The other person that she's younger. She did really well as well too,
Mm.
I'll say. It kind of give a different, as I say, a different feel. So as much as you know that the series has zombies per se in it, it wasn't too caught up in it or focused fully on the zombies and how did they come to be, how they
Yeah.
be. They gave you a bit of background, but they moved on because that's not really what it's focused on.
So let me give you even more background. So this comes from a video game like years ago, like which was The Last of Us One, and then they had The Last of Us Two. They've now adapted it into the series. Um, I probably played, I would say, 1% of that game, so I sort of knew what it was about, but like I said, 1%, I didn't get anywhere in that game, which was years ago as well. Um, so I just knew what it was about when I went into this. But in terms of the whole storyline, it was new to me because I haven't played the game or whatever, and it's new to you as well.
Yeah, it's completely
Um,
new to me.
yeah. And then looking at when you actually watch the series, you see what that the storyline is more about, survival in, harsh conditions. I mean, what would you do if you were in some of those scenarios, where it's not just, I mean, you can imagine when civilization ends, um, people sort of do things you wouldn't expect, but what would you do, right? So it questions your morals and what's right, what's wrong, and how you evolve or how you develop or how you grow as you make those choices. So if you made one choice, does that put you on the path to the right lane or the left lane? What do you become after making those decisions? So really impactful series to watch. Personally, I preferred season one. I loved it. Season two was more following on, I think, a few years after what happened in season one. And then we'll have to see what happens going forward.
Yeah, if they decide to come with a season three, as I said, they leave that door open, and it does look like there's more to come, but they haven't actually.
We haven't checked.
We haven't checked, so we don't know if
there
it's
will be
coming
more.
soon. Yeah, but as he said, just to follow on and agree with that, season one was very it was very thrilling, action packed. You know, a lot of things happening. I think comparing season two to season one, season two didn't deliver as much when it comes on to action. I think
Well,
it did it. There's a lot of action
There's a
still,
lot.
yeah, in season two, but it wasn't as grabbing, I'll say, like season one. Season two was more so of giving like backgrounds in a sense. So you had quite a few episodes that was just merely, or maybe half of the episodes was focused on the backstory of a new character that's introduced, or a new person that introduced. And also even a backstory on the main characters that we had from season one.
Ellie.
It's that they literally started throwing certain backstories in, which, to be honest, nothing is wrong with it. I just feel like, for me, maybe certain parts of season one could have been a bit more of those backstories. But when you come now to see that the start of an episode is going back to give you a piece of backstory, you kind of predict, okay, then what is this episode going to really be about? And then you realize that, oh, okay, then they're giving you this little bit of backstory because this is what they're going to focus on this. So that's the only reason, just to kind of connect it. It wasn't really, I don't think it was, I don't know, you can agree or disagree, but I don't think the placement or the timing of those backstory was the best. I think, especially coming from a season before that you didn't have too much of that throwbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, now coming to introduce so much more, and especially for new characters that you're bringing in, like there wasn't enough.
I would actually disagree. I think season one had a lot of backstory, which told you about how the world got to where it was, and gave you the, like you said earlier, the hive mind, gave you the understanding of all of that. It's just that I think it hit more. It hit more for me personally. That's why I think if you were to compare it, they're probably two masterpieces, right? If you're watching it for the first time, haven't played the game or anything like that. But I've just compared season one to season two, and I think season one is here and season two is just slightly below. You will still enjoy it.
But definitely.
But just choosing, it's weird. And maybe we're doing this because I know that like there is a part one and a part two in the video game. So I'm comparing the two. Which one do I prefer? But again, the storyline, it flows. The acting is amazing. Even
and every character, every new character that they introduced, which I think at the start of season two they introduced a few, which I was quite surprised of, to be honest. So if anybody watches You, so one of the character that they introduced in it was one of the ladies from Hugh. I think it's not You this series, this season that ended. So season two, You, the bald girl. Her character, so she was introduced newly, and it wasn't like a long piece that she had, or a lengthy.
Well, don't ruin it for
me. I won't. But I'm just saying, like, she's everybody even from You. She was a really good actress, and I think she did her part. Like, she really played a good role in this season.
But I remember thinking, I said, why is she always in these positions? Like, I remember when I was watching it, like, I hope they're not
kind of putting her in a box now.
But
series, go and watch it. Especially if you love these zombie type movies. Anyway, I'm not the biggest fan of these scary type stuff, but I really enjoyed it. As I said, because I really like the main actor. Anyway, go and watch it. Let us know what you think.
And that's The Last of Us, yeah?
Last of Us. Bye.